I'm Todd Bishop from GeekWire.com in Seattle, and this is Windows 8. This is Microsoft's next operating system, which it's previewing here this week in Anaheim at its Build conference. I've been trying it out for most of the afternoon and evening, and actually now well into the night on this test device. It's a touchscreen tablet, but this will also be the interface for regular old PCs. This is the new default start screen that people will boot up into. As you can see, I've logged in my Windows Live ID, and it's automatically picked up my avatar. It's very much like a mobile experience in that way, even though it's going to be used on everything from tablets to PCs to high-end workstations. Now, you can get a sense for how it operates here. It'll be very familiar to people who are accustomed to Windows Phone 7. And now there's a ton of new stuff in here. In fact, it's going to be a little disorienting for people who pick it up for the first time and try it out and are accustomed to the traditional Windows desktop. But I just wanted to share with you just a few of my first impressions, and also just some basic navigation techniques that you're going to get used to if you end up using this. First off is this right-hand sidebar. Now, I just sort of swiped there. I'll do it again from the right. And this brings out a menu that Microsoft is calling the Charms. Sort of a fancy name for basically a 5-command menu over here. You can search for apps and files on the operating system. You can share among applications in different ways. The Start menu, the Devices menu, and then the Settings menu. Now, this is going to be available from anywhere in the Metro UI, which is what Microsoft is calling this new alternative interface. Now, another thing to know is how you're going to be switching among these different Metro apps in this interface. So let me just open one of them. Here's InkPad, which is a way of using and interacting with the stylus on the screen, which Microsoft is still clinging a bit to this, although it's not nearly focusing on the stylus as much as it did in its original tablet PC days. Now, here's the second type of gesture that you're going to need to get used to. So you can see that the screen is really full of the app. There aren't any commands there. So you might ask yourself, so what do you do? Say you want to do something that you would normally do under a file menu. Well, here's what you do. You go up to the top and you scroll and you push down, and you can see that now there are a bunch of commands and different options, different tools for interacting with this app, and you tap on the screen and they go away. And that's part of the idea that Microsoft is trying to push here, is that your apps in this new Metro interface are going to be filling up the screen, and you only go to the commands when you want to go to them. Now, the next thing is, how do you switch among apps? Well, here's what you do. You go over to the left-hand side, and you move over like this. So these are different open apps that I have. Goes back to the original one that I had right there. The control panel in the Metro UI, the Scribbly app, subscriptions app, and you can just get a sense for, I'm just moving it over like this, and it scrolls through your different apps. Get back to the Start menu, you just press the button down here, goes back to the Start. Now, here's another interesting thing. So you're wanting to move these apps around, and by the way, you can categorize these things in different ways. It's sort of a new take on the folder. You can name each of these different groups and basically group your apps by folder without actually creating folders. Now, say I wanted to move this aircraft app all the way over to the front. Now, on a mobile phone, you would hold it down and drag, and you'd sort of do that here, but you actually have another option. You can click down to select it, move up, move it up here, move it up, and now if I wasn't holding the camera, I could do this with another hand, but I can do it with my other finger. So you can basically just move the content underneath it with another finger using the multi-touch capabilities, and then move it over here to a new place. And actually that little trick I used there where I push down is going to be another key mechanism that you're going to use. So here, let's go back to the desktop. So say I wanted to do something with this one. So basically you just push down, and then you get the different options to do different things with it. Among them, you can make the icon itself larger. That's going to be a key one. So you can really customize what you do here. And the idea is very similar to Windows Phone in that all of these tiles will sort of be interactive as you're online, and they'll pop up new information, like when you have a new email or if you have new photos that have been posted to a particular account. That's a very quick look at some of the basic user interactions and different types of gestures that are used in Windows 8. For a full rundown, as much as I can fit, go to GeekWire.com and follow us all week for more information from Microsoft's Build Conference. Thanks for watching. I'm Todd Bishop from GeekWire.com.